Everyone gets Sun Tzu wrong. His famous book isn't a guide to fighting, it's a manual for financial survival. For centuries, we've tagged him as the philosopher of victory, a strategic wizard quoted by generals and CEOs. But that popular image is a myth. Strip away the legend, and you find a mind obsessed not with glory, but with cost. His core argument was radical. The biggest threat to any kingdom wasn't the enemy's army, it was its own treasury bleeding dry. The art of war isn't about combat. It's about accounting. And if you listen closely, you can hear the sound of a budget cracking under the weight of ambition. To see his genius, you must step into his world, a world on the financial brink. China's warring states period was an age of fractured kingdoms, each convinced it could conquer the others. This wasn't just an era of battle. It was history's first great stress test of national economies. Every campaign was a massive high-risk loan against a kingdom's future. Armies needed food, weapons, horses, and thousands of paid laborers. A single prolonged siege could erase a century of wealth. States were literally fighting themselves into bankruptcy. This is the crisis Sun Tzu confronted. He wasn't a mystic. He was the ancient world's foremost risk analyst. While others saw an enemy to crush, he saw a balance sheet about to tip into the red. Victory meant nothing if it left your nation insolvent. So what was his fundamental rule? It's hidden in his very first line. War is of vital importance to the state. Vital, as in perilous. As in potentially fatal. The rest of his book is a guide to minimizing that financial peril. His most famous saying, to subdue the enemy without fighting is the supreme art, isn't just clever strategy. It's pure cost avoidance. It's the ultimate fiscal conservatism. The best victory bankrupts your opponent, not yourself. Every principle he taught is an economic one. Speed? It's about lowering operational costs. Intelligence gathering? It's the cheapest weapon you can buy. Using the enemy's own supplies? That's just sound resource management. He devotes entire sections to the grueling math of supply lines, noting how distance multiplies expense. For a text on warfare, it's strangely fixated on grain prices and labor shortages. He reserved his sharpest scorn for leaders who loved war for the thrill. To Sun Tzu, that was a path to national ruin. He understood a truth we often forget. Every decision on the battlefield is a decision about long-term solvency. Miscalculate, and you don't just lose soldiers, you lose the state itself. So why does this ancient ledger book approach still matter? Because the pattern never changed. Look at empires that overextended themselves, from Rome to the Soviet Union in Afghanistan. They didn't fail because their armies were weak. They collapsed because the economic model behind their wars shattered. Sun Tzu's warning echoes through centuries. Prolonged conflict erodes the state faster than any enemy ever could. Today, his logic is everywhere. Economic sanctions, cyber warfare, proxy conflicts, they all aim for maximum impact with minimal fiscal exposure. They are Sun Tzu's principles in a modern suit. National power is no longer just about military might. It's about economic resilience, supply chain security, and the ability to absorb shocks. He would recognize the math instantly. The deepest lesson is this: Sun Tzu wasn't teaching rulers how to win wars. He was teaching them how to avoid national bankruptcy. True power isn't in the strike, but in what you can afford to lose. His entire philosophy is one of stewardship, not conquest. The wise ruler preserves resources. The reckless one conquers empty cities and inherits debt. The true masterpiece of strategy is stability itself. If this perspective shifts how you see history, then do this channel a favor. Give this video a like. It helps more than you know. For Rich Root Official Tea, I'm your host. History doesn't repeat, but its bills always come due.